This week, we are joined by Lani from Too Many Games and Nelson from #GamesMatter, among other awesome things, replaces Rev, while we roll our decks to defeat the final boss, Monster. This little planet is getting big with an Indie Box contest, and we update you on happenings from last week. Buckle up, and welcome to the 50th episode of the Indie Game Riot. Indie Game Riot!
Hey everybody, this is JaShinYa, and we are on, can you believe it, episode 50 of the Indie Game Riot
And
podcast.
Rev isn't here to help.
And Rev isn't, oh my god, Rev isn't here to help. He's died for the third time. He's basically our Kenny.
Yeah.
It's a South Park reference.
Oh my god, you killed Kenny.
Yeah, we killed Rev. He's not here today, but to take his place, we have, to point in the right way, Nelson, who leads Games Matter, #GamesMatter on Twitter, Video Games in the Bible, and is a host on Beta Wave Radio. Hello.
Hey guys, really glad to be here. There is no Rev. Nelson.
Nelson's got him chopped up under his bed. But he's not on camera, as you notice, that's okay. We have his beautiful, extremely accurate portrait in the square instead. And we also have our very special guest, who is not just filling in for anyone, who's actually supposed to be here. Lani from down there. Too Many Games. If you haven't heard Too Many Games, the convention happening in Oaks, PA, where Indie Game Riot has a panel at. That's the best part of Too Many Games.
Yeah.
100%, 100% true. Is also here, and she does have a camera because she's not a wimp.
Hi guys.
There you go.
I'm sort of a wimp. A little wimp.
A little bit. All right, that's fine. So, first of all, at the beginning of the show, I'm just going to let you all know you can always give us a call. 717-508-RIOT. That is 717-508-7468. If you give us a call on that number, you can leave a message, and once I see that during the show, I'll be able to play it. You guys will hear it. Not you guys in this thing, unless you log into Hitbox. But those of you listening to the stream will be able to hear it. And then we can respond in kind. I'll relay the message to those who are streaming with us. So 717-508-RIOT. Give us a call. First thing we're going to do, though, is talk about ourselves, because we're just a bunch of narcissists. I'm going to go first. Or no, I'm not going to go first. Lonnie's going to go first because we're good hosts. Lani, how has your week been? How have you been doing?
Doing okay. Had kind of a long week. Actually just came from... Man, these are weird headphones, sorry. So not used to using these. Yeah, we just did this whole, Too Many Games. We're kind of a big convention now. We have a big storage unit not too far from the Expo Center where we hold the convention. And, year after year, things kind of just get thrown in there, piled in there, and don't get looked at, don't get organized at all. And also depends on, which volunteers happen to be returning things and taking things out. Not naming any names, but so tonight was like this big organization project, and it just went like all day. And I thought we were going to be there all night. I thought I was going to miss your wonderful podcast here, but I'm glad I didn't. So that was kind of the cap to my week. And I like
we're kind of a big deal now.
We're kind of a bigger convention. We have all this crap. Storage thing.
I mean, that's what you call a good problem. That's what you call a good problem.
Yeah,
That sounds like my high school TV studio that basically me and another student single-handedly like completely reorganized over the course of like 2 days. You're also
an award-winning organizer, right?
Apparently,
all
because
right.
that place was never the same. I was
no one cares,
that
Tech.
place
Shut
by
up.
I know.
The second guest, who is actually Rev, but not Rev. He's wearing Rev's skin. That is Nelson. How's your week been?
I've been doing pretty well. I'm more tired than ever and yet more excited and living win Rev skin apparently. So
Yeah,
yeah.
All right.
I knew it.
Yeah,
So you're that kind of person.
It's probably a tight fit. Rev is a scrawny guy.
Yeah, he is.
In all seriousness, I've been doing pretty well. I've been really busy, but in game development, the stuff that you're busy doing is stuff that you love. So it's, again, another happy problem to have. Really glad to be here today.
Oh, yeah. And finally, Tech, I guess you can go.
All right. So because the weather is getting warmer, I think we have to bring back the now becoming annual
It's freaking
weekly
hot.
weather review from Tech. It's hot. It's really hot.
You're like Ollie.
So nice.
You're like Ollie from Family Guy. It's hot.
Yeah, exactly. It was so nice the last 3 days, and it was like 60 one day, and it was 70 the next day, and it was like 60 the day before that. And as soon as that hit, I was just like, I'm so done with summer. I'm so glad that it's getting cold.
We had a bit of
really
a cold
wish-
spell, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And now today it was hot, and I was working and driving, and it was, you know.
Oh my
AC
gosh,
is my
man.
friend.
I wish I could bring you to South Korea so much right now.
Is that where you live?
because,
Seriously?
Yeah, American in South Korea. There's a really long story there.
Wow.
But, yep, that's where I am. And it literally went from, it's been kind of cold, kind of chilly, and then things started getting nice. And then just yesterday, suddenly all hell breaks loose. And it is as hot as the pits of hell.
Nope.
It's
Nope.
muggy.
Nope.
It's, as you
Welcome
know,
to the jungle.
As you may or may not know, South Korea is a peninsula. So we're surrounded by water, and all of it is rising up from its grave to
Oh
murder
my God.
us.
Really?
Slowly.
Yikes.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
And it's not. Thankfully, when I came here, usually every summer they have a monsoon season where it's just torrential rains. It didn't happen last year, but thinking it might happen again this year. So wish me luck.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Good luck with the monsoons, Nelson.
Don't
I'll just
get a boogie
Isn't
board.
there like a power up for that? Can't I like absorb the robot master for that?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works in South Korea.
Yeah.
Umbrella
Josh,
Man.
Yeah, Umbrella Man. So Josh,
That
because
actually
you're
was a real person, wasn't it?
I don't know.
maybe.
Like,
Is that like a Mega Man X thing?
you mean a Mega Man X? Like, I don't remember Umbrella Man.
I think he's just
I
nuts.
could be wrong.
He's probably crazy.
That's actually he's
all the
actually
South
involved
Korean
with the JFK assassination. Never mind.
There you are.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I
Spreading
understand
more
the confusion.
misinformation. Gotcha.
History
Josh,
lessons
what
from
have
my
you been up
JR.
to this week?
Oh man, not much actually. Actually, no. Well, one thing I mentioned this I think after the show last week. That by the way, let me just mention this. I went to go edit. For those of you who are listening to the recorded version or just popped into the chat, I went to go edit last week's show, and we have on our website episodes 1 through 48 all lined up there perfectly, right? 49 gone, kaput.
Yep. It's dead.
Nothing. It is dead. The file was corrupted somehow, some way. I don't know. And also no backup because that's how things work here.
Yeah.
And so 49 will cease to exist except for in people's memories, whoever was actually there.
Except for those awesome people who won some
Yeah,
games.
and we did giveaways. We had Matt Kanj from Indie Game Stand. We're talking about that stuff. It was a really good discussion too. And one of the things that we're talking about in the news today, sorry. First of all, let me preface this with excuse my language, but this is the name of the game. So, oh well. It's called Kill the Faggot, and we had news. For those you don't know, that's like it's a game where you kill gay and transgender people, and it was like a big controversy because it got pulled off of Steam, and we talked about it. So it was a really good discussion about that. We have an update in the news today, but still, it stank because it was such a good discussion.
It was.
So I mean, there's that. What I am gonna do though is I already put up an article for Indie Game Stand. I'm making sure I put up articles for all the games we talked about because I feel really bad that I couldn't get like the exposure that they were supposed to get via the show being put out there and edited. So Indie Game Stand's article is out there. I'm going to be working on the games later on, but so keep an eye out for that. And and also thanks again to Matt for all the giveaways he gave away. By the way, Nelson, you won one of the giveaways because you were in the audience for that.
Yes, I was. It was amazing.
How's your
It was
elite
better
membership?
than cats.
How's your elite membership?
It was good. I got a game that I haven't played yet,
Oh,
which I feel terrible about. I know it's really anticlimactic. It's like it was I didn't play it, but yeah, Indie Elite. Apparently, they're really amazing people, and so this subscription plan is really interesting because it's a little bit like PlayStation Plus that we see on console.
Yeah.
Only it's applied to the PC, and that's something that people have been speculating might eventually happen. It's happening over on Indie Game Stand, and it looks like a really good value. And if I actually had some money to spare, I'd totally re-up.
7+ games every month that you're subscribed, so that's cool.
Plus a 20% off. This isn't an advertisement.
No, disclaimer that we are in no way compensated by Indie Game Stand. They're just awesome.
Yeah, it's just they're awesome people. You want to talk about them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what else you're getting 20% off of today?
Oh no. What?
Oh dear, what's going on?
Any news injection.
I was gonna say bad transitions.
No, those are free.
Yeah, those are free. You can go back to the. Actually, it's funny. Nelson, you mentioned that the intro that I did was really good. If you go back, and this is one of the craziest things that you don't really think about, and for the 1-year anniversary that we did 2 episodes ago, we sort of touched back on this, but we've been doing this for a year, which is I don't even understand how it's been a year because it's just gone by so fast.
Oh yeah.
But I went back to the first.
You listen to the old stuff, and you're like, "What were we doing?"
Exactly. When I was making the website, I went back and watched a lot of the old episodes, and like the intros are so boring.
Today on Indie Game Riot, we're talking about games.
This, talk about this, and talk about this. This is episode 2 of the Indie Game Riot, and now it's like this huge scripted, convoluted, hilarious, awesome intro.
His intro was actually one of the less convoluted ones. That was fairly straightforward.
That one was very straightforward. Uh-oh, what did I do?
NPR Cool Voice. Who has one? I know it's me.
Oh, what did I just close?
What did you do? You ruined everything.
I just closed Hitbox. Hitbox just disappeared.
Oh no.
It's okay, but
it's not okay.
NPR Cool Voice.
I think you guys both have it.
Yeah.
The NPR Cool Voice.
This week on WYPR, we're talking with.
This week on Fresh Air,
we go down to the streets of the city and talk about with the people and how they think about current events.
Now listen to this pretentious classical music.
I actually like NPR is my is what I have to listen
jam?
to. Well, it is because I'm a pizza delivery driver by day and a superhero by night. But I'm a pizza delivery driver, and music while I drive is good when I'm getting from point A to point B. But when I'm driving,
so you can speed down the streets.
but like when I'm driving when I know I'm going to be stuck in a car for possibly 5 hours going point A to point B constantly, being able to listen to people talk is just like sanity. And I've been listening to NPR every single day that I work for the last 7 months.
I've been kind of doing the same thing on my breaks. Mm-hmm. I go up in my car and sit there. So now it's nice out, and I listen to ESPN radio because we just got ESPN radio in this area. So I'll go out there, and it's usually a talk show, or sometimes the Phillies are on. Like I'll listen to baseball games. Nice.
Don't the Phillies suck?
Oh yeah, they suck this year.
Yeah.
Don't they always suck?
It's unfortunate. No, excuse. Whoa.
I don't know. I'm a Redskins fan. I can't talk.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. First of all, the Phillies won a World Series in 2008.
Oh.
When's the last one the Orioles won? Oh.
I'm not an Orioles fan.
Actually, I think, what was that, the 90s? Did they win one in the 90s?
I don't know. I don't care.
I don't know.
I mean, I like sport ball as much as Rev, so.
Oh, I've been talking to Nate from Undercog, who's going to be at Too Many Games, by the way.
Yeah.
He really wants to do that sports ball challenge.
Oh, I thought it was Clusterbuck 99.
No, it's sports ball.
Oh.
Although that would be a good challenge too. That's a difficult game.
Would be. That'd be a great video to make.
What, playing against Undercog versus Indie Game Riot?
Yeah, Undercog versus Indie Game Riot in sports ball.
Yeah.
You guys should do this at Too Many Games.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
we met him at MagFest, and we were
Seriously.
talking about sports ball. We didn't get a chance to play there, but we want to. All right.
I guess the good thing about having a lot of people that we talk to at MagFest also being at Too Many Games means that we don't necessarily have to interview them at Too Many Games.
That is,
right.
well, I actually want to interview him again because he has
Yeah.
instead of a tech demo, he has an actual build for the game.
And what's cool is Dean from Vidar actually sent me a review copy.
Oh, did he?
Of Vidar, yeah.
Lucky.
I know.
I didn't get one.
Well, it's because I made the video on it. He was sending out. I haven't made a video on it yet.
I was in the video.
What?
Oh, you mean
no,
Let's
like,
Play?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, like Let's
gotcha,
Play
gotcha.
style. I think he's gonna be at Too Many Games. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he has a booth there though.
Who is it again?
Vidar.
Vidar.
Dean. And
It
his
was
last name starts with
successfully
an R.
kickstarted, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be on Steam.
It's a really cool game.
It's awesome. I love it.
And actually, that raises an interesting question. It's one that I encounter all the time with Beta Wave Radio. It's the awkward situation when several people are hosting a show and one gets a review copy of a game and the other doesn't. It's like there's this awkward silence.
Actually-
like, what are you playing?
It actually happens a lot because I'm the main point of contact, so a lot of the keys get sent through me, and I always ask for 3 or 4 copies, 3 for for the host, and then the 4th one we usually try and give away. But a lot of times they're just like, here's one. Which, by the way, I was talking to someone at Newgrounds. They're like, if they send you one, that's a load of crap because you get infinite Steam keys. Why be stingy?
Yeah, dude. Like, think about it like that. Like, we at MagFest, the guys at Thief Town were just giving away the game.
Yeah. But anyway,
A physical copy of the game?
Well,
No, they had, like,
on their
these little-
Christmas cards.
little
They
cards
each
with
had
keys
their
on.
own unique code on it.
yeah.
Right. For Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it does look like Vidar is coming to Too Many Games.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Be able to talk
let me
about
ask you real quick. When does like the schedule come out? Because like to plan, like what day and time we're gonna be on for the panel.
That we have it almost finalized. I mean, we
Okay,
have
you're
to,
working on it.
Yeah, we're right in, right in the middle of that at
Gotcha.
the moment.
And here's another question I had. So, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm getting this info from Josh, who got it from talking to somebody at Pico Day.
Who got it
For
from an
the-
old witch living in the woods?
So
Got it from a guy in
the
the poncho named Hank,
panelists get 2 passes into the convention.
and then you have to get press passes for the rest. Cause
Right. And we will. Yeah. But so,
Or buy them.
how do we get those passes?
you say, please, can I have my passes? And we
Yeah,
give them to you.
You go there and
It's
write.
like, hey, we're with Indie Game Riot.
What do you
Oh,
think?
here are your
No, what did you think we did at
Well, I
MagFest
just-
too?
no, well, yeah, but at MagFest it was like, "What? Give me your ID," and I'm like, "Okay, here's my ID," and they're like, "This,
ID,
here, take this,
please.
go over there," and I'm like, "Okay, okay, all right,
Move
dude,
along.
all right. Don't punch me."
Right, you guys have those trustworthy phases. I'm pretty sure you're going to show up and say, hey, we're, Indie
Yeah.
Game Riot, and unless Josh does that.
I'm gonna like shave my beard before it. No one's gonna recognize me.
No, you can't do that because you promised people could pluck your hairs.
I did.
Yeah, in
When?
the in the anniversary episode.
Oh right,
He promised if anyone comes up and says, "Hey, it's Indie Game Riot," he promised like I will let you pull a hair out of my chin. I don't know why,
I didn't
but that was the
actually
thing.
say that.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
I
my.
did.
Oh,
not.
you did.
I did not.
And you said Jesse was gonna have to film it.
You opened yourself up for this, man.
It's happening.
whatever.
This sounds
I mean-
painful.
It sounds glorious.
You know what? It's. I mean, I don't know. I've got enough beard to go around. It's actually like we had the my GM's boss was in the store today, and that always like intimidates me because I work in food and I have this.
Oh, do you have to wear the thing?
No.
We're supposed to wear that, but I only
Oh,
do it
well,
when
we'll
the health
see.
inspector's coming in.
We are supposed to, and we got a shipment of them in.
It's because you look like a moron with that thing on. Like,
But here's the thing. I'm a driver. I'm walking in and out of the store. So if you want to make me take an extra minute to get in, by the way, because every time I go into the store, I'm still technically getting paid a tipped wage because drivers are tipped and paid minimum wage in store. So
Right.
I'd have to go into the store on less than minimum wage, put on a beard net, go in, clock myself back in from the delivery, dispatch myself out on the next delivery, walk back.
wait, so you don't
take
get
it
paid while
off.
you're in the car?
No, we get paid. I get paid.
Tip wages.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean that doesn't. Still, you're working. Like
Yeah.
like the way tip wages works is you get paid like $5 an hour or something like that.
I get paid $5 an hour in the car, $8 an hour in the store.
Oh, I see.
And so when I come back and type in all the money that I collected from the people, then I go back from $5 to $8. That's why I always take my bathroom breaks when I'm not on a delivery.
I just got paid $8 to
yeah,
take a
exactly. There was a point here, and I totally forgot it. So
I think the point is that if you actually, came into the store and put the thing back on and, dealt with all of that, then your pizza wouldn't get there in 30 minutes or less, and it'd have to be free.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'd be paying you to put on a thing.
But see, they'd be paying me $5 an hour to put on the thing, which is the problem.
Oh.
Because like I've worked in a deli, and that was like the rules, and I was like, it's a deli, I understand, but here it's like I'm not touching the food.
No one does it in a deli either.
I like it's an awesome beer. Like my thing is like it's a little nuts because my girlfriend Jessie trimmed it when I went to the interview, which I was gonna get the job anyway. I know people who work there. Trimmed it for the interview, haven't touched it since, and before that it was at a year. And so it's about a year since I cut it last now too.
By the way, Rev, if you're lurking, because I saw you get on for like a second, if you're lurking, can you like take a quick break, just tweet to your people, because a lot of people are missing that we usually.
Yeah, a lot of people listen to you, and nobody listens to us.
No one cares. Oh.
Yeah. I have a grand total of 55 followers on Twitter.
Do you?
I only have 55 followers on Twitter.
I have my personal Twitter. Let me see. 232. Oh.
Wow.
Is this the modern version of I do what Nintendo don't? Like everybody's like, oh, I have 232 followers.
Yeah.
I have like 500 friends on Facebook, and they're all like real friends. I don't.
I try to keep my friend count on Facebook to under 150.
My friend count. I use Facebook less than I do Twitter. Like Facebook is just. Anyway.
At this point, because
this isn't Facebook talk.
You're right.
Podcast.
This is Indie News Injection.
Because if I had a Facebook podcast, it'd be called Facebook Talk.
Hey, Josh, let's tag the news. I'll take Kill the Faggot update.
That's what I meant to say earlier, and then I was like, yeah, go ahead.
You can take the Indie Box contest, because I'm assuming that you know about that. And then you can lead into... I'll lead into the dev that was screwed on Kickstarter, and then you can talk about Little Big Planet.
Nelson actually knows about the thing, because he...
Yeah, I was just going to lead into it and let him...
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. And then you can talk about Little Big Planet, and then lead into the interview.
All right.
Metacasting.
Happens all the time. All right. Hello, Lurker, by the way, before we get started. Anyway.
Yeah. We know you're there. We can see.
That could be me.
Maybe, I don't know. There's more than one, so I don't know. Sign into the chat. Have some fun. We're going to do some giveaways later. If you want to do win a game, you have to be signed in. And if we ever got big, one of my longtime dreams was to have like a podcast network. Speaking of spin-offs, I wouldn't mind having a few different shows and maybe having some other shows brought in. All that sort of stuff.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, Josh, after this show, well, we do need to write out exactly what we're going to be talking about on the panel, but
well, yeah, we get a better outline.
Diversifying the Indie Game Riot brand has been on my mind, so we'll talk about that.
All right. Metacast.
Yeah.
All right.
All of a sudden getting like real like technical with like, oh, we got to diversify the brand and create synergy between our supply and demand. And
okay, you use the word synergy. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. Basically, it's just a Weird Al song.
That is a good song.
It's a great song.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, do you want me to lead it up? I probably should.
Are you bored with the same old games?
Yeah.
Why, then give yourself an Indie News Injection.
Thanks, Indie Games.
And this week on Indie News Injection, we have a callback to the lost episode 49 about a game called Kill the Faggot. On the last episode, that was unfortunately lost due to
Yeah,
a corruption.
I was going to say explain just real quick. I mean, I did it earlier in the show, but explain real quick what the game actually is, why we're talking about it, why it's obviously it's offensive. So
yes, Kill the Faggot was a game that was released on Greenlight on Steam, where the goal of the game was to kill transgendered people and gay people, and then you get points. We had a short discussion on art
freedom of
versus,
speech and art.
Yeah, freedom of speech and all that. We're not going to be getting too far into this. We have a lot more interesting things to talk about. But the some of the voice actors within the game, as well as some of the I think the musician of the game,
musician and voice actor,
was
upset
on Twitter, very upset, especially on Twitter,
because they didn't know how it would be used.
Exactly.
Right. However, let's say let me just say that one of the updates to this is that they signed a contract, right,
yes,
for their voices and music to be used in the game.
Yes.
Not saying that I want theirs. If they don't want to be a part of it, I'd rather them not be in the game. However, legally speaking, don't sign a freaking contract if you don't know what it's being used for.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the stupid bonehead move.
Yeah.
But
and that happens a lot, unfortunately.
Right.
But there is news on that. The company Skaldic Games have agreed to no longer use the contributions to these two individuals in the game. So, all right, good.
Okay, and actually, there's the reason behind that is my friend Joe Parlock. He is actually the one who broke the story about the interaction between the voice actors and Skaldic Games, and the back and forth, them trying to get out of appearing in this. What they were like, we really do not want to be even associated with this, and he said they'd take him to court. Joe put up this story about this whole fiasco on Destructoid. Next day, I think a few days later, they confirmed that the guy went from saying "I'll take you to court" smiley face to I'm not going to letting them off. So
yeah,
it's pretty interesting just how
it was
a media outlet, somebody actually talking about this stuff and bringing it to light, can reverse a situation.
There were some rude things going on. There were like emails being exchanged that were pretty unprofessional. Not that creating a game called Kill the Faggot is professional,
exactly. But see that raises a lot of good points that we talked about in the last episode, about how that there is a fine line, but there's also a gray area around that fine line when it comes to content in a game being freedom of speech and art versus just being plain hate speech.
Well, the original story too was that it was taken off of Steam just like that other game where it was basically a murder simulator. The difference being that, first of all, the difference between that game and this is that the first one that was taken off of Steam and then put back on was not discriminatory. You killed everyone. But I mean, talking about freedom of speech and art, well, it doesn't really matter because it's a private entity. They can do what they want. They don't have to let anyone on their store. So there's that. The other thing, there were like some other like more complications in that too. Like the musician said that the music they were using is actually owned by some record label or something like that, and there was that, and it's just, I don't know, it was a lot of back and forth, and who knows what's true and what's not. But really, I'm glad that they have been taken off this game. I don't know what they're going to do without them, but at the same time, who really cares? I'm not going to play this game. I don't know how many people are really going to play this game, except maybe out of pure curiosity.
I don't. Just in terms of just concept, it doesn't seem like a game that would be fun ever. Newgrounds maybe. But
well, even I mean Newgrounds,
but it wouldn't be fun.
I think that would get blamed on Newgrounds. To be honest,
I bet you it would.
Blamed being, they have like a whole system where you can blame things so it doesn't go in and be playable past that. But and also just real quick, prepping chat said this might be more of a rumor, but he's heard. This is just postulating, I guess, but he's heard that he was a failure before the game. The guy who made it said he failed. He failed a Christian skating shoe company. I'm not sure even what that means, but it's funny.
Yeah. Again, all speculation.
Yeah.
But so moving on from
what's not speculation.
Yeah.
Is the fact that the Indie Box has been around for 1 year. Congratulations, another indie game anniversary to be had.
We talked about them as soon as they started, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, I mentioned on Facebook when I saw it, I was like, I'm so happy to have been part of their history and them ours, because we started. We actually started the same month they did, May.
Yeah.
Because when we talked to them, they had just released Teslagrad as their first indie box to be sent out. And for those of you who don't know, indie box is if you've heard of Loot Crate or something like that, they're a subscription box sent to your house. They give you physical copies of indie games along with a lot of other cool swag and things like that. And it's supposed to kind of be reminiscent of when you got games in, say, in like the 90s, when you got like an instruction manual, a box with really cool artwork. And each box has like it's really cool artwork. You'll see, like past episodes, you've seen Rev unbox because he has a subscription he pays for to that. So it's really cool. And of course, we now finally have an affiliate link with them that you can find on IndieGameRiot.com if you want to support us and the Indie Box. And by the way, they give a large portion of their things to the devs, so you'd be supporting devs too. But before even the affiliate link, we just really liked what they were doing for the indie game community, and
you look at how much they've grown. Like if you
from
the link
was
that we
it
have
like
in our
250
notes,
to what 12,000 or something?
It's something crazy.
161.
And you look, and I remember like seeing the pictures of like all the boxes like stacked up on someone's kitchen table, and they're like all like wrapping them individually and everything. Moving to like this,
an actual office.
It's such a huge growth, and they have such a it's just so great to see like where they've started and what they've become, and the fact that in a year they've moved from 250 to
from their living room to an office, and and they've been to a bunch of cons, PAX South, PAX East. They've been on Twitch, IGN, Kotaku, and all that sort of stuff. Indie Game Riot, of course, and so congratulations.
So you could say that they started from the bottom and now they're here.
They've now they're Prince of Bel Air or something. And the news I'm trying to bring up too is that they are actually holding a contest right now. What you would do is you would refer as many people as you can to the Indie Box, and when they subscribe to an Indie Box, they'll ask for like a referral's name. So if they write your name in there, that's like an entry for you. So whoever gets the most referrals to the Indie Box will get a free month of Indie Box. You'll get the limited edition box. So you get it's like, so there's only so many boxes that are made, right? So you'll get the very first one. You'll get like number one out of however many, because they're numbered. You'll get the very first edition of June's game. You'll get an Indie Box t-shirt. You're gonna have your like a photo of you and a message that you want to say in June's Indie Box, and you'll get the next Penelope poster signed by the whole Indie Box team. And then even the top 10, you'll still get an Indie Box, I believe. Yeah, you'll still get an Indie Box signed by the Indie Box team, and it'll be numbered from number 2 to number 10. Out of that whole limited edition run of what?
It'd be number 2 to number 11.
Number 10. There's only 10 winners, Tech.
Well, 10 winners?
Yes. Top 10 refers.
Oh, right. Okay, never mind. I read that wrong. That is my fault.
So there's that. Congratulations, Indie Box. We're very proud of you. We're very happy for you. We hope to continue helping you out and all that sort of stuff.
We need to get them on the show.
They've been on the show kind of when we did Indie 3, but yeah, I would like to get them on again. Yeah. See where from where they've come to where they are now. So yeah, we could talk to them again. But you know what else we should talk about? Talk
about Kickstarter and how the system unfortunately hurt a almost successful project. a Dutch indie team, Two Awesome Studio. We're running a
This one
Kickstarter
hurts me.
campaign, and they got a donation for 7,000 euros from a single backer, which pushed them over their limit, so they would get funded. And then Kickstarter quickly closed down and banned that person's account. They lost that, and it caused them to not reach their goal, which means
Oh, no.
on Kickstarter that they don't get the pledges that they they could have gotten. And Nelson, you know a lot about this.
Yeah, I worked on the pitch. Actually, interesting thing, right before the pitch went live, day before, me and the lead dev went over the entire thing and rewrote the entire thing. Finished it up in like 8 hours. I was up at like 7 a.m. and it went up a half an hour later. It was incredible. And so to see how we've had them on Bay Wave Radio several times. They've been working on it with their free time for so long, and to see how much work and dedication they put into it, and to see how slowly it was building up, we were all really worried. I'm not an official member of the team, but I'm close friends with them, and so yeah, we were really concerned. And so it was built up to that 23,000, and to see the 7,000 come in and then get revoked, even though it was fraudulent, even though they did the right thing and took it away. The fact that they took it away at the time that they did, like a half an hour before the campaign ended or whatever.
How does a thing like this happen?
I mean, someone probably
I think
thought they were helping.
Somebody stole a credit card.
Oh, I've seen someone
really?
Wait, is that what actually happened?
That's apparently from what I've heard, a stolen credit card was used, or there was some evidence of fraud, and so that backer, the account was revoked. Apparently, he'd been going into other indie campaigns as well and pledging high amounts.
No.
Oh, wow.
And so, a half an hour, they were celebrating. Everybody was so excited. I was asleep. And so I was excited in my sleep to actually be sleeping because I don't do it much. But everybody's having a good time, and suddenly this gets ripped out from underneath them. Imagine just how that is.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
How killer a Kickstarter campaign is. It's like a full job, and to see that ripped away, that was really big. And actually, in the end, though, I think what's supposed to happen is going to happen, because as a result of this crap happening, so many people have finally found out about the game. So if they come back and try to do a funding effort, I think they're going to be successful, and they're going to do well, and they're going to go above and beyond.
We've talked about that
that's what I'm
before,
hoping for.
about failed Kickstarters and things like that. Yep. How a lot of times the second time they go, a few months later they start another one. You get all the people that were there before, and then an additional time to get new people on board. And they've obviously, like you said, they've gotten a lot of publicity from this kind of nonsense, so it hurts.
I'll just put it this way: Rami Ismail and Rihanna Pratchett both said that they would donate $1,000 if Kickstarter granted extension.
That's amazing.
Right.
And
that
we
right
were and this isn't even like a case of a failed Kickstarter, because I think we talked to Jay Tholen, who's doing Drops of the Clown. We talked to him about this.
Do you know Jay, by the way, Nelson? You two would get along great. I'm telling you right now. For multiple reasons.
And I think
Jay Tholen, I know his partner who works on the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we had a whole episode about this a long time ago, talking about statistically what makes a good crowdfunding campaign, what doesn't, lessons that people have learned, and this really isn't a like there isn't a lesson to be learned here. Like the campaign was going surprisingly well. Like 7,000 euros short of the goal is
Then again, in the last few days, it went from like 13,000 to 23,000. So that's great right there.
And so this isn't so much a tale of a unsuccessful Kickstarter because of X or Y. It's really just an unfortunate event.
It's a hurdle that they're going to overcome, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, if we've seen it many times before with like Solarix, failed Kickstarter, they just push on anyway.
Or people are going to band together.
Yeah,
exactly. If you look at Steamroller Studios, have you heard of Deadwood: The Forgotten Curse?
Yes. We talked about them on forget what episode.
Yeah, the original Kickstarter raised about 35,000. They just closed out the second Kickstarter. Not only are they being published by Team 17, and being published and being handled by Team 17? But they raised 102,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing things can happen.
Yeah, that was an interesting statistic from that discussion about doing another Kickstarter, was that a lot of times you do another Kickstarter, you lower your how much you need based on whatever, however much you've gotten over a few months. And a lot of times you end up getting more than you asked for the first time, just like that. So for Two Awesome Studios, that's the name, right? I just had a really bad brain fart.
Two Awesome Studios.
Yeah, Two Awesome Studio. If you're listening to this by chance, keep your chins up. You guys are going to do great, I'm sure, especially if you do another Kickstarter. Don't be afraid to do it. I know it's a lot of work, but if you really love your game, which I'm sure you do, it's worth it. So, you know what else is really awesome studio? Bad segues. Is you guys, Little Big Planet? It's not an indie game. Well, it started off from an indie studio, but it got bought by Sony. But you guys know Little Big Planet, right? On PlayStation. Yeah. Really cool game, really cool platformer, co-op, and all that sort of stuff you can do. Some indie game characters are getting cameos. You can play as them. You can reskin the sack people or whatever they are. Apparently, you're going to be able to play as Octodad.
Oh, cool.
The girl from Velocity. I don't know if her name is actually Velocity or not.
I think she's like Captain Catan or something like that.
I played it once. I didn't actually play it too much, but the girl from Velocity, Octodad, Thomas from Thomas Was Alone, which is weird because it's just a rectangle, and then the guy from
one of the characters from Don't Starve.
Yeah, the guy from Don't Starve. So I just thought it was a really cool crossover, and Little Big Planet finding its roots in the indie games right there, and kind of saying, "Hey, thanks."
Did you hear the story about how they got picked up?
I think I did, but I don't remember it. You can go ahead.
No, I was thinking of Future Lab, the people who made Velocity 2X, how they got picked up.
I
think.
Good.
And I actually forgot it. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
Forgetfulness inspired my forgetfulness. Thanks.
Well, look it up for next time.
You seeded it in my mind.
Yeah. But now for something that we don't have to look up for next time, we have an interview with Lani from Too Many Games, who has been with us the entire show.
Hello.
Hello.
I didn't see you there.
Thanks for having me. Hi, I'm here.
No.
Just a little bit of background. Indie Game Riot has a panel at Too Many Games, so you can check us out and meet us. Not confirmed, but possibly. Also, we will have Rev.
It'll actually be the first time Rev and the two of us. Well, Tech and I have met each other before, but Rev lives all the way on the West Coast, so it'll be the first time. By the way, let me just give you a little background, Lani, and those of you who are new to the show. Rev has never met his father before, and it turns out he finally found his father. Turns out he lives in Jonestown, which is right next to Lebanon, where I live. His father, so he can't fly for.
Well, he might not. He might be able to fly.
Well, maybe, but at the moment he can't fly, which is a totally different story. But anyway, so he's gonna probably have to drive across country from California to here, meet with his dad, and then he also does medieval sword fighting. So I think he's gonna go to some event, and then he's gonna meet up with me and Tech in Philly, and we're all gonna do the Too Many Games panel there. Possibly. So it'll be a wondrous, stupendous event
it's an
of
amazing,
celebration.
And yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, Too Many Games is happening June 26th through the 28th in I guess what's the town? I can never
Oaks.
remember. Oaks, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
It's right outside of Philadelphia.
Also right outside of Shady Oaks, the nursing home.
Yes. Pretty far.
Which is outside of Shady Maple, the smorgasbord.
And I am told from friends of mine who live in the greater Philly area that it is a beautiful location. It is an amazing venue.
Well, anything compared to Philly.
Convention.
Wow.
So Lani, why don't you tell us a little bit about Too Many Games and your role in the convention?
Okay, sure. Thanks for having me on, by the way.
No problem.
And congrats on your 1-year anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
It's really awesome. So really happy.
We just got our training wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now I am the PR director at Too Many Games, and we're going into our 11th year. I think it's our 14th show,
That's
maybe
impressive.
15th show. Yeah, I mean, I didn't start it, so I can't take the credit there, but I've been on board for I guess going on 5 years now, and
Did you start out as a PR director?
no. One of my best friends, Paul, I think we were talking about Paul earlier, Paul Truitt, owns and runs it, and he and his wife do, and they just do such a great job, and I've just, kind of been tagging along, doing various jobs and helping out, and as of March, I'm actually a part owner in the convention, so
Yeah.
that's sort of big news. Yay.
I want to be
Which
part
means
owner
that-
in something. Well, I am, I guess, in
Yeah.
Indie Game Riot, but that doesn't make money, so.
Well, so I mean, you might as well be, if you're gonna own something, you might as well own something fun like a gaming convention.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was thinking at the time. And of course, the responsibility is a little bit more once you actually, are an owner. But it's been great. We have a lot of awesome stuff coming up this year. Every year, it's basically a 3-day party, music, games, and we have video games. We have arcades. It's like a huge free play arcade. This year's going to be the biggest ever. It's really something we're looking forward to.
And actually, if I may ask one question, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
But
sure, go ahead.
When you speaking about arcade games, do we also get more recent arcade games? Because I know some indies still actually build their games and then put them in arcade cabinets.
Oh, yeah, those are also
Wow.
really, really cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you guys know some indie devs that have like cabinets, that would be
Yeah,
super
actually,
sweet.
Default Dan
Default Dan.
was one.
Okay.
There's
I think
another
Default
one.
Dan I believe he's actually coming. I'm
Probably.
pretty sure. I'm gonna look at my list here, my cheat sheet.
Default Dan, and there was another one, but I can't remember who it was.
We didn't interview him. We meant to, but we didn't.
Yeah, but we did interview Default Dan.
Yeah.
But that one we didn't get a chance to put up yet, so it's going to happen someday.
Right.
Um,
right.
So with Too Many Games, it's not just indie games. I mean, that's what we're there for.
Right.
But
right.
you have all games. It's similar to the MagFest actually, where it's more of a party than anything like
Yes.
that. So you have all kinds of games there. What are some like really big companies? You have like Nintendo and all that stuff showing up, or
No, we actually don't have Nintendo or Sony or anything
okay?
like that.
They usually tend to like pop up out of nowhere with their PR reps who are actually, by the way, talk about AAA. I can talk bad about AAA because we don't talk about AAA. Their PR reps are rude. They're mean. But anyway,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, who's PR reps?
Sony's. Yeah, they tried to like ban me from interviewing Sony, the people who were at Indiecade for Sony. But anyway,
Wow.
that's neither
Wow.
here nor there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of those people. Like I go all over the country. Like we've been up to PAX and up at PAX East talking to those guys a couple times. It's kind of like, well, what are your numbers and what do you have going on there?
Yeah.
And I think we're not quite at the. Actually, I do think we're at the size and scope that Nintendo and Sony should be there, but they don't. I don't know if they realize that yet. So
You don't need them.
no, we don't need.
no, you don't need them. Seriously, when we went to Indiecade, again, I mean, it was all indie games, but Nintendo and Sony made their presence felt. Microsoft was absent, of course. But when it came to that sort of stuff, they were largely, I wouldn't say ignored, because there were people playing their games, but the crowd was definitely more at the indie game showcase, the featured indie games, and they had a little museum section because it was held in the Museum of Moving Image. So I mean, you don't need them. You really don't. So, but talk about in the past years. Give us some experiences there that really stuck out to you for Too Many Games. Something crazy thing that happened, or some really awesome guests that are there that you were just like, wow, I get to meet this person.
I would have to say not last year, but the year before. If you know Keith Apicary, Nathan Barnett. I don't know. He's the guy who does Neo Geo, and all the slapstick crazy. I don't know. He's a huge YouTuber. He's not.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, Nelson? All right. So
I'll say, you know what? I have mastered the art of pretending I know what people
I
are
know.
talking about.
I kind of know Neo
Geo.
Geo.
Chime in going, yeah.
Right.
He's a guy who's he actually has his own show starting on Cartoon Network, and he's been in a ton of commercials, and so he's kind of a big deal.
He looks like Trevor too.
He's
he did a Trevor in real life GTA 5 prank, and apparently people are freaking out.
That's funny.
he's quite a character. So let's say like his shtick is basically falling down. Like he looks like he has no bones in his body whatsoever, and he just sort of like at Comic-Con in San Diego, he's like falling head over heels down the escalator, and at PAX East he's climbing up the outside of the building of the convention center.
How's he not get arrested?
No, he does. That's his thing.
That's his thing.
He also enjoys running around in his underwear, and so he just sort of pushes the envelope there.
Well, cosplayers have been doing that for years. Why not him?
Right. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, the underwear probably covers more than a lot of cosplay. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was a huge moment for you to meet him.
Well, it wasn't even just meeting him. Meeting him was really cool. I got to hang out with him. I was actually the only representative of my convention, except for we had a volunteer running the panel room. But at his panel, where he did Keith Apicary as Nathan Barnett as himself, so he wasn't even doing his character. He was like, "Hey, I'm just going to be myself," and his fans had never seen that before, so that was really.
I was like
cool.
when we saw Ninja Brian.
Yeah, that's kind of like when Ninja Brian took his mask off at the Q&A. That was scary.
It's almost
so
like you wonder if there's a giant black gaping hole there.
Yeah, exactly. So you also have a lot of awesome people showing up this year. James Rolfe and Mike Matei from Cinemassacre.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Fulp, obviously.
Obviously.
Chris O'Neill, Oni. Linkara, Alpha Omega Sin, like awesome people.
No, I have a question real quick before you continue with that. And I had the same question at MagFest. What? Not that I have anything against someone like Oni, but it's a gaming convention festival party thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know he has a Let's Play channel now, but that's not really what he's known for. Why? What is his? What? Just because? I mean, that's a fair enough answer. I was just curious. Curious if I was missing something. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Has quite a following, and sort of cross genre there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like you said, he does do some Let's Play stuff, but that's not his primary thing. We do, it is all about gaming and game culture. And I think it's, sort of what he's done, who he's affiliated with, and that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
We actually, another new partner in Too Many Games is Ryan Scott, who is from Screenwave Media. And he's the president of Screenwave Media. And so he has these different channels and YouTubers and things like that. And so basically, a lot of it is a big Screenwave party this year, which is really awesome because we get to get a lot of these special guests that I've been, trying to get for a while now. So I think, Oni is great, and we're really looking forward to having him. That's kind of my explanation there. He definitely lends to the culture and the feeling that we have going on there.
That's fair enough. I was just curious about it, and I know like he's part of Sleepy Cabin, so and I know Sleepy Cabin does like a lot of like video game animations and stuff like that. So
right, exactly.
And actually, I have a question. When you are as a PR representative, how do you set up all of these different events and special guests and etc.?
I sort of wing it.
You.
Do you just go up and say, "Hey, would you like to be at Too Many Games?"
Yeah, I pretty much do that. That's basically what I do. One of my favorite things about being a part of this convention has been just traveling around and meeting people. just going to other conventions and kind of showing up and saying, hey, this is who I am, this is who we are, this is what we do. And I've met a lot of really awesome people that way. And even some of our indie games devs, met them by just going up to them, giving them my card and saying, hey, come on out, to grow it to where we are today. But we also have, a staff right now of I don't even know how many people, but a lot of us are just behind the lines working on the events and, making sure that we have the people that we want to get and, making those connections and conversations.
Yeah. Do you have, and you sort of brought this up when we were talking about Sony and Nintendo at other conventions, but, and I haven't seen it on this website. I know other conventions, list this. What is your average attendance every year at Too Many Games?
Well, it's hard to say. Like, we have our numbers. We have some rough numbers from last year. We're doing a lot better as far as metrics go and things like demographics, keeping track of stuff this year. We've got some actual more sophisticated programming and software and stuff like that. But I mean, we've absolutely grown like exponentially from year to year. So, I mean, past the first maybe 5 or 6 years, and then the last 5-6 years has just really kind of taken off, and some years doubled in size to where we are now. Last year was I want to say around 5,200 attendees.
Wow.
Yeah, and this
That's
year.
That's more than half of like some of the huge because I was at Origins Game Fair last year, and that's like, that was huge. And it was like 9,000 people. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're getting up there, and have sort of that MagFest feel, but with really focus on the gaming. Like at Origins, like we have a huge tabletop area.
That's awesome. And I see that you guys, two of your sponsors are Rio Grande Games and Privateer Press. For those of you who don't know, Rio Grande Games make games like Catan and Bedpants and Broomsticks, and then Privateer Press have a line of they have a bunch of tabletop war games and a paint line, and I'm just surprised that you guys have those as sponsors. Like, I hear Too Many Games, I think video games, and then now that you're talking like board games, I'm like, that makes sense that you guys have those sponsors.
Yeah, anything to do with games, clear across the board, no pun intended. They are like, we absolutely love those guys, and we're so lucky and happy to have them as our sponsors. And then they come out and demo all their stuff, and we're huge fans. Like today we're in storage and we're stacking up these boxes, these games that we've gotten over the years, and kind of like, okay, who's taking what home?
Yeah.
What haven't we demoed through here? And when can we do some game nights? Oh, we can't because we have a convention coming up in a month and a half.
God. I still got to find someone to do game nights with.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys aren't too far from us, so maybe we should do this at some point.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Talk about diversifying a brand.
Yeah, really.
Too Many Games, Indie Game Riot game night.
Yeah.
Do like tabletop.
Now earlier,
all I know is that's a huge thing for me. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
That's a huge thing for me. There's so many amazing co-op games like Hey Samurai Gun and Nidhogg, and I'm just sitting here alone like, does it have AI?
So lonely. I'm so lonely.
Is there an AI for Monopoly?
That's okay. Monopoly ruins friendships.
It does.
Now, Lani,
play Monopoly with family.
Or Risk.
Where'd you get the big
Especially
50s, Grandma?
Yeah, especially.
Lani, you said earlier in the show, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you have some big announcements, like some big news.
Yeah, actually, the one thing that I was asking the permission on, I unfortunately got denied.
Darn.
Oh.
But I will say, I am allowed to say, okay, they just did a huge Kickstarter.
Okay.
That was successful. So there's like a little hint.
Everyone go to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm thinking of Descent.
She can't confirm nor deny anything.
I can't
Yes.
confirm or deny.
You don't want to get her in trouble.
Yeah, I was just
I can
throwing that out
confirm
there,
and
yeah.
deny whatever I want. It just it's, if I find it. So
What if
So-
I can hint that they may be coming from the continent where you are currently, Nelson? Is possible.
Okay, I'm not gonna push any more, but that's really exciting news. I hope it comes out really awesome for you guys.
Yeah, they're definitely coming. It's just a matter of the timing on the announcement, as you guys can understand. However, I do have a couple of special guests to announce for the very first time here on Indie Game Riot, that before it's released to the public, which I'm sure we'll be, getting out there on our Facebook page or doing an email blast shortly. But we have Team 4-Star.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they
Yeah.
just started doing stuff again.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we're really excited to have them come out. I'm not sure if you guys know Brental Floss.
yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Brent Black. He does a lot of with music. With what is it? What if this video game song had lyrics?
yeah.
And he does a great job, with that.
Is he performing something?
Oh yeah, he'll be
Okay.
performing.
That's cool.
He's performing. I think he may have a panel. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do. He has a signing.
Yeah. We
Very
actually saw that he had a panel at MagFest. We saw a little bit of it
Did we?
Okay.
while we were looking for Tom Fulp.
Oh, yeah. We were like looking indoors and we're like, hey, who's
Yeah.
that? Oh,
Oh, it's Brental Floss.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a quick
That's awesome.
question for Lani, if I can.
Sure.
As a PR director for Too Many Games, which when you think of conventions, they happen once or twice a year, etc. How many times does Too Many Games happen a year?
Hold on. Nelson, hold that thought. Lani, continue your special guests before we get to that.
Oh yeah, yes, that's right.
He's getting really excited. So.
Obviously, I get distracted. No, that's fine. I will definitely get back to that, Nelson. Yes. So we, as I said, Team 4-Star, Brental Floss, and Nate Wants to Battle. We were just talking about Nate earlier,
Yeah.
I believe, right? Okay. So he does, the Let's Plays and some music, and he's actually coming out with a CD, which may, I think, I can't actually say this.
Debut at Too Many Games?
That's the rumor.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
Rumor.
That is the rumor. It should be ready by Too Many Games, and it may be premiering at Too Many Games.
Oh, all right. Possibly.
Just a
Possibly
rumor.
things in the works.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
rumor. All right.
Just a rumor. But
Okay.
anyway, so those are our big announcements for the podcast, and you heard it
Sweet.
here first.
Yeah, seriously.
Indie Game Riot exclusive, world first.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll get on that.
How many times a year does Too Many Games happen?
Yes, we are. Right now, we are once a year. We
Alright.
have actually. I'm going to say this is our 15th convention, even though it's our 11th year, because we have in the past done things, similar to MagFest, like with their Mag Stock and their MagQuest things on the side. And tried having I believe they tried having a late fall one, and I don't know, at one point a winter thing, which, we actually got a lot of praise for, but then on the other hand, we're kind of like, if it's going to detract from our main event, we're not really sure we want to go that direction. We've actually thrown it around a little bit, talk about diversifying and, diversifying our brand. But, if we're going to move part of the convention to a different date, and focus on one thing there that's special to that time of year versus our, big convention in June.
Awesome. And actually, my big question was, even though it only happens once a year, is it a full-time job updating, like getting the convention going and making sure it happens and it happens smoothly on time?
Well, right now, my answer is yes. But I mean, we've got 6 weeks until the convention, and this is absolutely my full-time job right now. I did have a day job. I did get laid off, and I kind of am looking at that as a fortunate turn of events, considering.
Sometimes I'm when I'm at work,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I would get fired today.
that actually goes into a lot of we have Tim Donnelly, who, as we've said, don't know if it was before the show or during the show, writes an article series on IndieGameRiot.com, how to make a game. Currently, he's making a game called Boss 101, which recently got greenlit on Steam. And you know, through talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm burning through my savings because I genuinely believe in this game. At this point, there's nothing more I can do." And I've also been watching.
It sucks being an employee. So when you can work for yourself,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I've also been watching Casey Neistat, who is a filmmaker and did a lot of. He made a lot of commercials. He's been doing daily vlogs recently. I've been watching a lot of his stuff, and the biggest thing for him is as soon as you like comfort is the killer of progress, and as soon as you like get laid off or leave that job that is, you know, comfortable, and you go out and do something that you love and you genuinely believe in, that is when the, you know, your progress as a entity in whatever you're trying to do is going to go up, because you're focusing more on that all of a sudden becomes your life, and you have to work hard to be able to get back to where you were.
Right.
And there's definitely something to be said about, like, yeah, quitting your job or getting laid off and then doing what you genuinely care about, because that's what you have to do.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
well, congratulations on getting laid off.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
and by the way, I just noticed your Too Many Games shirt. Is that something that's going to be available this year?
Yeah. Well, each year we do a different theme. So this is, I don't know if anybody can recognize it.
It's off of Mario World.
This is
Mario Brother.
Yeah, this is it's like Nintendo Power cover. And then it's roughly based on the first issue, which was Mario.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wait, Nintendo has Mario? That's a big thing for them?
What?
Or Super Win the Game. We can just go that way. Stick with indie games.
Yeah.
There you go.
Super Win the Game style.
It's so embarrassing that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, Super Win the Game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Indie Game
Be
Riot.
embarrassing. That's a great thing. That's
Saving.
awesome.
Yeah,
By the way,
saving the world
since you know you said before that you haven't had a whole lot of experience with the indie game community yet.
I just meant me myself personally.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like you know, yeah.
Yeah. So what you got to do is first of all, ask us anytime. We have a lot of connections.
Yeah. A lot of connections that are going to be at your convention.
Yes, and you should definitely stop in if you're not planning already. I would imagine you are, but stop in the indie game area. Do you have like a sectioned off area for indie games specifically?
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We have a whole indie game showcase. That's a major point for us. We love our indie game developers, and yeah, that's huge. So
stop in there, say hi to us, and we'll show you around the whole.
We'll show you
the.
what it is. What
Listen to us.
Show you the.
Yeah.
Just know that by coming onto the show, you have
Shining, shimmering indie games.
You have like, whether you know it or not, started to change your paradigm on gaming.
It does, and that's
Because-
actually that was the point I was trying to get at. I was being facetious and egotistical, fakely, kind of. But the point was, indie game community, if you haven't experienced much of it yet, will change your view of the gaming community as a whole. Like, the indie game community is so strong, so supportive, and I mean, no matter what, you're gonna have those Gamergate type of people, but the indie game community is such a great place in the world, brings so many people together, and I think you're gonna, if you step farther in, if you jump down the rabbit hole, you're gonna enjoy it there. So
Definitely.
Say hi to us when we get there.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
Now, last thing is, two things. I forgot, and I feel bad because the last person we interviewed, I forgot to ask this, and it's kind of our staple. Out of the experiences you've had in the indie game community, what is like the best experience that you've had, like with gamers or devs or just in the community as a whole?
Oh boy.
put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did put me on the spot. I was not expecting that at all.
Just to put that in perspective, this is a question that Josh or I would have the hardest time answering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
You guys.
That's
have
okay. It's okay
so
because
many awesome experiences to draw from. I mean, I have some really good memories of playing some games when they first came out, like Super Meat Boy and Binding of Isaac. Was that an indie game?
Yeah. Same guy who made Super Meat Boy.
Same guy. Okay.
Super Meat Boy came out when I was 12. That was an utter hell trying to get.
How old are you, Nelson?
How old are you?
Yeah.
Baby.
That is a question. Live on the air right now. Nelson, how old are you?
It's a Benjamin Button. You're gonna have to tune into Indie Game Riot first to hear the full answer.
Next week.
Next week.
Next
Nelson.
week.
Nice plug, Nelson.
There we go.
Very well done.
All
And
right.
you're hoping they forget it too.
That's okay. That's a perfect answer.
No,
Just
actually,
playing indie games.
That's a thing actually that I only recently started revealing, and because for so long I was afraid that if I revealed how old I was, I would lose everything, and so at the time that I did reveal it, it actually turned out to be a really good thing. So yeah.
Wait, how old were you trying to convince your mom to buy Super Meat Boy? Was it 12?
Oh my gosh, this Rev's skin is getting a little tight here, man.
Yeah, a little bit. So Lani, let people know.
Yeah,
just to sort of close everything out. Let people know
anything that you need that we missed or that you want people to know about Too Many Games, the website, Twitter, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, well, definitely go to the website. Check out our new website, which is toomanygames.com, TOO many games.com. So we're updating it constantly and putting new stuff out there. This year we have so many cool things going on. Like I know I want to wrap up, the interview, but we have a wrestling ring with a real live. Yes, a real.
Is there going to be a real live wrestler?
A lion.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl in real life.
Woo!
God.
It's happening.
Wait, I want to do this. Wait, do we have to pay, or is it free?
No, for you, it's free.
Oh yes.
So this is not. So I would pay good money to see Rev or Tech beat the crap out of.
Oh, dude, you do
Josh.
not want to
Just
see
saying.
Rev beat the crap out of anybody.
Why is
Rev is a beast.
Yeah, Rev actually
You wanna
knows how to
mess
handle
with him.
weapons. And
Yeah.
and why me, by the way? Why me specifically? What did I do?
It's because you're the one in charge.
I guess.
This is what happens when you bring Rev to the East Coast.
Yeah, he knows how to handle weapons. He's gonna tear it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be really fun. Yeah, a couple other things. I mean, we've got concerts going the entire weekend. We have panels going the entire weekend. We've got some incredible bands from all over the world. We're flying in the Living Tombstone from Israel. And if you check out their stuff on YouTube, you'll see why they've got such a following and why we wanted to bring them to our guests. We've got a cosplay burlesque show.
Oh, I heard about that.
You guys do not want to that.
That seems like a natural evolution.
You can have the Neo Geo guy just run up there in his underwear.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Done. Cosplay and burlesque all in one. No, it's really cool. These people put on an incredible show. These girls
No.
and this guy, they do these routines, and you're gonna see, Princess Peach and Link, and it's pretty cool.
Real quick, just because that just sparked a thought in me. Too Many Games is open to everyone, right? Like the convention itself. How are you, just curious, how are you separating? Because I'm assuming that's an 18+ thing.
Yes, it is.
Right. So how do you have to get wristbands or something, or?
I believe what's happening for the burlesque this year, because we actually did our first year, we premiered it last year. This year is a little bit different. We're going to close the show floor, and then people can line up and go into the other hall in the convention center to get ready to go into burlesque. So we're just sort of making it, where we were there checking people's ID, last year.
Just like a bar or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's pretty casual. You pop in and take out your ID and go on in, have fun.
Tech.
Yes.
Bring your cosplay costumes.
Okay. And we will,
get one of Jesse's bras.
Okay, we'll try to get into that. We'll try to do the cosplay burlesque show.
Just try sneaking
We'll
in the
crash
back.
it. That's just how.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Streak
we got
across the stage.
Yeah, we had a panel earlier. Yeah, it's fine. You didn't hear it. Okay, yeah, it was about this.
You, me, and Rev. One of us will all paint I,
No, but see,
G,
that's
and
not fair.
R.
Rev's gonna steal the show.
No, Rev will have to be the I because he's so skinny. So G and R, and then we'll just run across the stage naked, and we'll be all right.
All right, awesome.
All right, good.
You know what that sounds like?
Lonnie's like,
You,
and I'm
Josh?
calling the police. That does sound like
It sounds like it's going to be starting a riot.
it is starting.
An,
Right.
an Indie Game Riot.
And this week, starting the riot, we have a game called Dex. And the best way that I have been able to describe Dex, and with help from my girlfriend Jessie, is that Dex is Metroid meets Fallout. Like the old Fallout, like Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. It is a two-dimensional side-scrolling brawler, non-linear
RPG. I just
game.
think it's really cool. I mean, we see side scrollers like this,
Yeah.
and they're always brawlers or Metroidvania types, and this has that in it. But the open worldness to this, it's not something that I was prepared for.
It starts you out. It starts you out in a corridor, and then it slowly starts to like. You talk to people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna want to do this," but they like mention something else, and on your way to do one thing, you're the option to do the other thing is presented to you, and you're like, "Oh, well." I could go this way or that way.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for the amount of exploring involved.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when I first started playing, and I was like, why? Like, what do I do? Like, I was so like, my mind was so like, I must follow the rails. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and then go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying? Please continue.
No, it's picking up the items too, and it's just not the usual from the 2D side-scrolling type of thing.
Yeah.
So, and then not to mention the things like the Fallout-ish kind of thing where where your dialogue, you can make choices in your responses and level up your you can have different dialogue options based on your charisma or something.
And not only that, but like the choices that you make, and it's very clear and very obvious very early on. Like they get away with not having a whole lot of a tutorial in this game by teaching you, as long as you're sort of keen enough to pick up on it, that your actions in this game affect certain things that happen later on. And you wouldn't think like, oh, it's a 2D side scroller sort of open game, okay, whatever, decisions aren't going to matter. Decisions matter. Like you start off that game and you're running around, you fall into the sewers, and all of a sudden it's like you pick one conversation choice, and that conversation choice ends in you having to kill this person and fight a bunch of people, and you've got fists, and you're like, what do I do? And then you kill those people, and then later on you talk to another guy, and that guy is like, oh yeah, this person is really bad, and it's like, but I killed that person. It's like, doesn't matter, other people take their place and all this other stuff, and it's like, choices, man. Choices are so
Actually, that's something really interesting, because I think that the indie game space is doing choice, I think, better than 99% of AAA stuff, because a lot of AAA stuff, it's hey, I'll help you cross the street, old lady, or hey, I'll help you, kicks her into the path of a bus. It's very binary, or it's just it's just inconsequential. Whereas we see stuff like Westerado, where you can pull out a gun at any time. Did you see that?
I've had my eye on Westerado. I did not put it on the show because of its ties with Adult Swim. I just didn't feel like it needed it, and plus it's a little AAA-ish.
Yeah.
The dev is as indie as it gets. We had him on Beta Wave Radio, and you can pull out a gun at any time. So let's say you're in a conversation with someone and they aren't agreeing with you. You can pull out a gun, but when something happens, so for example, let's say things go south, it doesn't have a big indicator like, oh, oil tycoon will remember that. It's just all hell breaks loose. It's very tense. It's very tense, because even though you're not told, you can feel. They actually said that 99% of players do not pull out their gun often. It's the tension of, do I pull it out? And so we're seeing decks and Westerado and all sorts of other things that are from gameplay, from within the gameplay to dialogue choices, really doing choice better than we've usually seen it. I'm really excited to see where the future is gonna go, because I mean, it's freaking awesome right now.
Yeah. The controls and decks are really, they're straightforward.
I didn't have problems with it. It's because again, it's not something I'm used to in a side scroller. You know what I mean? It's like it's mostly WASD, but there's a lot of, because of the combat involved.
Yeah, and the combat's very, like, the combat's good. It's different. It's very much.
The one complaint I have with the combat is the dodging.
Yes, that is the Q for dodge is not a.
Well,
good...
no, you can dodge with I think rate. No, I played with an Xbox controller, so.
Oh, okay.
So
I used a keyboard.
you can either use the left bumper, like L1, or the right thumbstick, like just flick it in the direction you want to dodge.
Oh, okay. Then that solves every problem.
But
like
because it's a little hard with it, because if you're facing, first of all, you can overshoot your dodge. You know what I mean? I feel like I feel
like that's part of the skill involved of the
well,
combat.
maybe it is skill based, and I'm just sucking right now, but. And mind you, this is all very nitpicky. The game is fantastic.
It's solid.
But I overshoot the dodge, and then, but I'm expecting to pop up, because I guess I'm not judging the distance right. But to give an example, I got backed into a corner by an enemy, so I couldn't move backwards. The enemy closes in on me. I dodge, but I overshoot it coming up behind him.
Yeah,
but,
and so now you aren't in range.
I wish it was smooth enough that I could have been able to easily turn around and just start wailing on him.
Yeah, that
you know what I'm saying? But instead,
if there was a run option,
it's a little slow to turn around.
Yeah, I think that, like, there were two sort of gripes. I'll use that in really big air quotes, gripes I had with this game. That definitely being one of them, but. I felt like I was easily able to adapt to it, because it's definitely
not game breaking by any means.
No, exactly. It's very straightforward, and you sort of have to play with that mechanic. My biggest problem with that was using WASD and then moving my ring finger from A to Q to.
You should get yourself a gamepad. I think it would be. I think this is a game that would play.
Yeah, I've got a Logitech controller.
I think this is a game that would play much better on
controller.
On a controller.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I really liked how the mouse integrated and everything.
Right.
With picking everything up and whatnot. My next gripe about this is that the cutscenes are really cool. The art in the cutscenes, they're very simple.
The art in this game is awesome.
I love it. But the character model just doesn't. I don't know. The character model's kind of off to me.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. The character model, like going through the whole intro and like seeing these things and then having the character model that I had, I felt like okay, this isn't the same.
Well, it does seem like maybe the character model artist was a different artist from the background artist, because the backgrounds are fantastic.
Are awesome. And the character models are also really good. It's just the difference
so
between
I can see maybe compared
Yeah.
to the background. Maybe I could kind of see that, but I wouldn't say.
There's also the difficulties with making any sort of art dynamic and feel good and animate it and make sure it looks right when it starts moving. That's always difficult.
Yeah, the animation adds a different layer to that as well. So you're right.
Yeah, and the animation's fine. You know, like I don't have a problem with that. And I even like how the
animation's a little old school actually.
The animation's old school. The art is old school, but not, you know, so old that it's like, oh, look at the style of this game. Like, no, it's an old school looking game, but it does enough, you know, it innovates enough to not feel like an old game. Because like I've played the Metroid games, I don't like them. I don't like the Metroid games. Yeah, flame me and attack me all I want. I really liked playing this game, and maybe it's because of
I think the fusion between many genres nowadays is like I've mentioned it before with shmups and bullet hells and things like that. How I've never been into that genre, but with the fusion, like what was the game at Too Many Games that was on Kickstarter? What was that?
Oh,
first of all, Boss 101,
Star
Mazer. Those games are infusing all these different things into that genre that is making me like, wow, I think I might actually like this game now.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So
and this game was so
this
fun.
is kind of like that.
Like I picked it up, we got the codes and I installed it and I didn't touch it for a little bit, and then I looked more into it and I was like, oh, okay, it's a 2D game and it's a brawler, and then they were like, oh yeah, non-linear gameplay, and I was like, okay, I'm sort of digging this, and then I played it and I was like, yes, this is good. The fact that they have everything voice acted too is the best. It is so,
as long as it's done well, which it is. So
it is
because if it's voice acting that's done bad,
and there's a lot of there's a lot of text in this game, and you could play this game with absolutely no voice acting and still get the full experience. But the fact that they got voice actors for this and went the extra mile and had good voice actors and did it right is just so.
And by the way, Rev is in the chat, so he's probably at work working on his thing while listening to us. He asked you in the chat.
I knew my right hand was moving weird.
Yeah, Nelson, we told everyone that he chopped you up and is wearing your skin.
Style. To answer Rev's question, Rev is in the chat, as was said. I am not a huge fan of the of games that put you in a world and say go, and then you sort of have to like go through things and
Oh, you didn't like Ori and the Blind Forest because it made you uncomfortable.
It did,
and it's essentially Metroidvania is in the same kind of like cramped setting, even though that still isn't cramped. But
for me, that it's a little different because a lot of these sort of non-linear games make me feel like it makes me feel like I don't know anything.
Well, this Ori and Blind Forest wasn't non-linear; it was pretty linear.
Well, it's a different reason why I have gripes with non-linear games, or linear games for that matter. The games that this is modeled off of that I'm not really crazy about. It isn't because I feel uncomfortable with the setting. Like the setting, I could care less about the really hallway claustrophobic feeling of this particular style of game. What bothers me is that there isn't enough engagement in a lot of the open world or Metroidvania style games to keep
open
me
world and
interested.
Metroidvania don't, other than this game, don't usually.
Well, other than this game, yeah, but I mean, like you play Metroid or like Super Metroid, and it's just
okay,
go,
yeah.
And there are places you can get to, and there are places that you can't. And there's a lot of extra crap that
a lot of the older games is kind of like you feel. I feel like you kind of have to be in the know.
Yeah,
to get all the stuff. I kind of get that.
Actually, Warren Spector spoke about this. Warren Spector, Deus Ex. Yeah, do you remember the first level of Deus Ex?
No.
I have never played any of the Deus Ex games.
Oh my dear lord. Okay, we need to have an intervention or something. But yeah, going back to Deus Ex, in the first level, it's cited as one of the best games of all time. In the first level, it's just this field, and then you can go forward or right. And back then level design was so important. Yep. So if you look right, you could sort of see the path opening up to a certain point. And if you look forward, you see that it's more well lit, but at the same time there might be a few more hiding spots if you can move between places correctly. And he said literally there's a spot he put, the level improved exponentially when he put a spot right off to the side, right when you enter, that if you climb up and you just look over, you can look over the entire complex. He said they were paralyzed. Players were literally hardcore shooter guys. This was back in the days of Doom and stuff. Were paralyzed by choice. And I think that's a thing that you sometimes get in Metroidvanias where it's like, go left, go right, do whatever you want. You're paralyzed because you haven't existed in this world. and yet you're being expected to fit the social norms and etc. Things that can only come with having either lived there, been born in it, or having played it for some time other than 5 minutes because I got it in a bundle off of Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
and that's one thing that Dex does super well for me as somebody who isn't crazy about Metroidvania style games, is that it gives you enough direction to keep it interesting. So, you talk to a person or you check your quest log and it's like, all right, you have this overarching quest of doing this, and then you ran into this person and this is these are the options that they gave you, and you might not want to do this, but the other option that they gave you is, grueling and gonna kill you. And my cat is coming into the room as is customary. And I commend this game for keeping the gameplay interesting, the world interesting, and engaging the players.
Well,
with
what else is engaging?
Well, we haven't wait.
A giveaway.
Just to end. Oh, a giveaway. Oh, you're giving away this game.
I'm giving away this game.
Before you give away this game,
we were going to give away Tech's cat.
Yeah,
that too. That cat's kind of a dick.
Yeah. This is for Windows, Mac, Linux, and Ouya. So obviously that
Ouya.
Yeah, that the controller support, definitely a plus. You can. Where's the buy button on their website?
Just go to Steam.
Or you can just go to Steam. Just search Dex.
There you go.
3 letters. So Josh, tell us more about that giveaway.
Well, the giveaway, I think what I'm going to do is, instead of like a multiple choice question, I'm going to have the massive amount of people in our chat to give me, like, in the chat, just like a short, like, few sentences, your best moment in a Metroidvania, since we were talking about that. Like what? Because Rev did that with the sim management tycoon game, just a shorter version.
Chroma Squad.
Yeah, for Chroma Squad.
Chroma Squad is awesome, by the way.
It is awesome. So
Mech.
Those of you in the chat, give me your best story involving a Metroidvania type of game, and the best one, Tech and I and Nelson and Lani will pick, and you will win the game.
Yes. So if you are a lurker, make sure to log in, and
you'll have.
You know what else?
You'll have throughout the break.
Yeah, exactly. And what doesn't need to be logged in to enjoy?
Well, there's plenty. Insert many dirty jokes here. Peep show.
Yeah, peep show.
Please give all your attention to early access.
And this week on Peep Show, we have a fantastic game to talk about. But first, the winner of the giveaway was... Let me actually have to go back up and find his story.
Find it, yeah.
There it is. Preposterone. He says he's not sure if it's considered a Metroidvania type, but, close enough, I think. Rambo on Nintendo was his best experience, not because of the game itself, but because it was the first game he ever played and was his introduction to gaming. And to be honest, like that first game that just pulls you into gaming, what better story can you really get from that, honestly? You know what I mean? That's the moment that you dive into the gaming world is one of the best moments in one year you're never going to get back, much like, never mind, I'm not going to go there.
What I just realized is that the first game that I ever played was an indie game.
Was it?
Cyan. Yeah.
What was it?
It was the Manhole game from Cyan, which was came out in 88. And I played it on an old Macintosh, and it was black and white, and it as a little kid, it was terrifying.
If we want to be technical, the first game I ever played was Oregon Trail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I was on the old DOS computers.
That was one of my first, too.
Yeah. The old DOS computers, first grade. That was one of my first. But I guess the first console game was actually Mario. It was the original Mario on the NES.
Okay, this is really going to date me, but one of my first console games,
E.T.
the most memorable one, is Morrowind.
Okay. That's not bad.
Now, here's the thing. I had to beg my dad to let me play because he had invested thousands of hours into it, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Played, quit the game. I thought it was finished. Turns out
no.
I had deleted his save.
Whoa.
Now here's the thing.
yeah.
He started from the beginning. He started all over again. Rebuilt his progress. Put hundreds of hours into it.
Way to
Convinced
go,
him to
Dad.
let me play again. Deleted it.
Oh, no.
How?
Third time. Hundreds of hours.
Okay.
Playing with a blanket over his head so I can't see the screen and see that he is playing it. I say, Dad, I know how saving works. I know how loading works. I can do this. I can do this. And he's like, you can do it, son. I'm like, yes, I can. Played it, did the intro, exited, tried to shoot that stupid annoying elf in the beginning. If you remember him, you'll know him. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
Shot like a bunch of arrows at that jerk face, stole a staff, got chased through the streets, was so scared, turned off the game. I was like, okay, I saved, turned off the game. Let's just say he didn't try again.
Oh, no.
The game is yours, son. I'm done. You ruined gaming for your father
And
forever.
I never played it again.
Well,
That's awful. Well, you know what? You should play and then play again and again and again. Is
Because
the
that's
game
what
that we were
we're gonna do.
talking this week on Peep Show.
with Boss Monster.
Monster.
Now, for those of you who don't know what Boss Monster is, son of a bitch, I forgot to switch the cameras over.
It'll work.
I apologize. But Boss Monster is, if I can speak right, Boss Monster. Can you say that
Boss
really
Monster.
fast?
Boss
Actually-
monster, boss monster, boss monster, boss
It's-
monster.
It's actually
Yeah.
one of those words that's really, really fun to say, like really slow, like boss monster, boss monster.
No, that's just creepy.
Boss.
That's a little
monster.
creepy.
Yeah.
All right.
Boss monster.
So boss monster.
There you go. Gameplay footage. Thank you for that distraction. Yeah, so Boss Monster is actually based off of a tabletop game, a card building game. It's really fun and fantastic. It is in early access right now on Steam. Now, the game developer, let me get back to that on my thing. I'm all sorts of all over the place now. The game developer was
Playing Concepts.
No. Playing Concepts is the actual game developer. I'm talking about the indie game developer,
gotcha.
which was Brotherwise Games. That's what I was trying to think of. There you go. So it's based off of that game, and basically the whole point of it is you are a monster, like the boss monster at the end of a dungeon.
And there's a Bobo. I see a Bobo.
A Bobo makes makes a cameo, although the name in the game is Robobo. Actually, I find this game kind of hard, but get into that later. You get these room cards, and the point of it is to use these room cards to build a dungeon to kill heroes before they get to you and wound you. Every hero that you kill gets a point, and you're playing against other boss monsters who are also building their own dungeons out of room cards. And as you go on, you kind of can build up your rooms into different, like, more advanced rooms and things like that, so it's harder to kill, because as time goes on, the more enemies come through, the harder the hero, or I guess heroes, come through, the harder the heroes get until you finally get to the elite heroes who are named, and they have much more hit points and everything like that. And there's a lot more. There's more strategy to it, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing because I'm not giving you a tutorial here. Now I find this game kind of hard because it's probably just because it's early access, and there's a good long tutorial at the beginning, but at the same time I still didn't feel like, and maybe it's because they kind of expect people to play this game who have played the tabletop game, but I still kind of felt like I didn't have a handle on the strategy.
Do you think it's also part of the reason it's a shift from being the hero to being the villain, and thinking along that vein and how to manage your resources when it's like the complete opposite of what we're usually used to?
Right. It could possibly be that, but I've played games like that before in tabletop games.
Yeah.
But it is definitely not something that you're used to. It's a bit of a paradigm shift, so it could be that. I don't know. I think I also probably messed myself up because I immediately started playing against three other enemies or three other bosses. I should have probably just started with two.
Right.
Because you can go against 2, 3, or 4 bosses all in one game. I came in like second place, if that's a thing. I didn't win. I felt bad.
That's not bad.
When I lose to the AI, I'm like, I'm an idiot. I don't feel good.
This is your first time playing this game,
It was.
right?
It was my first time playing.
If I remember right, I think that the actual deck game had a little bit of a learning curve too.
Mhm.
That, so I can kind of see if I didn't have somebody sitting there explaining all of that to me, and it's in this new format, there might be something kind of missed.
Right. And like I said, there is a tutorial. I mean, it's like 24 pages of tutorial. Not that it takes that long, but because it's just images and quick little blurbs around showing you what to do. But I don't know. It was just something different. But I think also with these kinds of games, you really, really have to read what's on the card too. Because there's sometimes I get a little ADD or something like that, and I just don't read the card.
Well, Josh, have you played other like deck building games before?
I think so.
Okay,
maybe
like what's the one that's really good? Dominion.
Yeah.
I have it.
Dominion?
I've played a little bit on the computer, but not.
Oh yeah, see, and I guess that's also sort of the learning curve that you get moving from a tabletop game to a digital version of that tabletop game. But like, I think that if you've played games like Dominion and you sort of understand how different cards work, and once you understand how the cards interact and have and synergize with each other, and that whole aspect of it becomes a little, you can't think about this game like it's another video game. Like you can't, like decks, what we talked about in the last segment, it's a video game. It's straightforward. You can, so if you've played other video games, you get it. This game is very much like it's a virtual version of a tabletop game.
I think tabletops converting over to virtual to digital is a little off-putting, because I mean I also have like Catan and Small World and Ticket to Ride and some other stuff on Steam, and it's so much different from the tabletop game. It's almost like it's just a complete different game. You're just not quite sure what to make of it. So there is that kind of a thing. But with all that said, it's still the same, essentially the same game that you know and love if you've played it, the tabletop game. And I was actually going to refer to you, because since you are like the tabletop guy, Tech. So what are your thoughts? I mean, I gave you your review key, right? So you've played it
a little bit. I think that the like fundamentally speaking, especially given the age of like Magic Online and Hearthstone and everything, that they handled everything very clearly. The different types of cards and the
spell cards, I think, what are really threw me, because I wasn't sure when was the appropriate time to play them.
That was.
And I think so. And again, being in early access, this may all be different later on. But like, I found it kind of difficult to look at my cards when it wasn't my turn.
You know what I mean? Also, just like there is a lot going on because you have so many different cards and you have so many different effects, and like placing them at the right times and trying to kill the heroes that are trying to kill you. It's still like I see what you're doing, but I felt like it was straightforward enough. But yeah, you did really have to think ahead and read.
It adds extra pressure too because of the timer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that timer. The
timer, because if you forget to halt it, you're like But the spells, like you're seeing a spell on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Like some of them you can play like counter spells, but I didn't know when I could play them because it wasn't my turn.
Yeah.
And then other ones you played on your turn or you played on other people's turns. It was just
I think that's I think part of that comes into gameplay design, and depending on, because I haven't played the original tabletop version of this game, so I don't know if there's details on the card in the tabletop, or if there's obvious markers.
It's a little bit easier to play tabletop too, because you can refer to anyone who's sitting there, and physically be like, oh wait, that's a mistake, let me take that back, or you know what I mean. You can just do it.
But like I think it's solid, and I think that the more you play it and the more you sort of understand the mechanics, the better you're gonna get. And I know that's like all games are like that, but like really, like learning how the game plays and learning how the AI, fights against you, and learning how to game the system and really like get good. Like, games that are like, oh yeah, it's good and I'm good at it, and that's fine. But then games where the first 2 times you pick it up you suck and you get like annihilated.
Yeah,
like, there is something to be said about games like that.
Yeah. So again, Boss Monster, made by originally by Brotherwise Games, now Plain Concepts is the digital dev of the game. I'm trying to. They didn't have a link. What is with these games not having links on?
I know, right?
Their website to Steam.
It's strange. I got it.
It's currently I got it. It is currently early access game, $6.99, which actually is not much.
No. It is.
So I mean, give it a try. It's just $7. Not a whole lot you can buy for $7, let alone a game that you can replay and replay and replay.
Yeah.
With friends.
Yep.
$7 on Steam, and it is currently only for Windows 7, which is unfortunate. But it is mostly positive reviews. There's that.
Yep. People like it, and the art. The art is. I mean, it's retro. I haven't seen the art of the original.
Well, the retro.
So
I mean,
I can't tell you.
The art reminds me of like almost not Munchkins, but that kind of like that cartoony, like this is supposed to be a fun board game kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
It's cool.
It's sort of got that like mischievous, cartoony, not over the top, but like comic booky.
Right.
I think is a good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it's almost exactly as I remember it. These cards look exactly like the cards in the game, in the tabletop game. And I think as far as you were talking about, like the words, the description, stuff like that, that's what you get in the game too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all right.
I love that art style. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And actually, I have a question, Lani. When you're working on the convention floor, I know very often being at a convention or being at an event and working there is totally different. So do you get the chance to really be able to play a lot of games, including the tabletop stuff, while you're working there?
No, not at my convention. That's a good question. Unless I'm playing hooky, which I have been known to do. I sort of checked out last year. I got a little bit overwhelmed, and my cousin Brandon runs a game called Dark Refuge, which he developed back in 2002.
I feel like I've heard that.
Yeah, but it's an RPG done with a book, tabletop type game, and so they're over there playing this for hours, and I just sort of became part of that.
She get a hold of Will Wheaton.
What's that?
She have him get a hold of Will Wheaton.
Oh yeah, Will Wheaton.
Wheaton. Wheaton. Oh, that's cool. What you should do is like the day before or the day after or something like that. Just keep the games there, and then just everyone play. Just chill out.
Well, we do a lot of that at my house. I have a lot of people come to this place here, and I'm renting, but it's a pretty big old house, and we have no cats or dogs.
Yeah. She's clicking my mouse. It's so annoying.
It's pretty funny. Your cat's going out of your.
She's like, she's like, I was trying to watch some porn.
Popular Hearthstone streamer.
Get a cat. Yeah, exactly.
Cat and boobs.
Yeah.
Let her play Hearthstone.
Yeah. So make sure to check out. If you like Phoenix, stop. Sorry. if you like tabletops, definitely check out Boss Monster. You can also get it on mobile, which is kind of awesome.
I thought about almost putting in mobile, but I was like, it's probably more for Steam.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. It's still in early access. There's a lot more stuff that could possibly come out. But again, as we always say, there is that big caveat of being early access. You are paying for what you are getting, and anything else is not promised to you at all.
You know something that you can get without paying for?
Oh, what's that?
Free fun.
And this week on Free Fun, we have a game called Eternum. You can get this game right now on rating. I guess it'd be ratinggames.com.
I would say Raiden.
Raiden?
That's why I was pronouncing.
Raiden Games. Yeah, that is how you would say it. It doesn't have the ing. It takes you to a Game Jolt download. It's completely free. You play as a wizard in a dungeon. It is a 2D platformy, fighty sort of game where you're tasked with picking up a bunch of chests and getting through all of the levels. And it's very old school. Lots of... My cat is back. Lots of cool collectibles that you can pick up. You have lives, and you are so vulnerable. It's a little bit floaty, but the jumping is very, very solid. And I mean, like, what more can I say? Like, it's a simple retro collect 'em all, kill all the monsters, just fun for free.
You know what else is solid?
What?
This podcast.
Yeah, this podcast
awesome.
is solid.
He's segueing. He's segueing because he has to actually get going.
Oh, he does.
Dang it,
yeah.
man.
So
you ruined the emotional thing. It was gonna be like Old Yeller, and everybody's gonna like start crying.
Well, because the podcast is, you're making it sound like the podcast is ending. You're the one getting shot, not us.
But yeah, so lots of awesome variety, cool power ups you can pick up.
He's going, by the way.
He is going. Oh,
yeah.
So,
Yes.
Nelson,
So see you, Nelson.
so Nelson, it was nice talking to you.
A pleasure meeting you, Lani,
You
and
too.
Josh and Tech. You guys take care, and I'm looking forward to being on the show next week.
See you next week,
and
man.
Hopefully, even having too many games on Beta Wave Radio up here soon. You guys are awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. You too.
All right.
See y'all later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yes. So
Continue.
Apparently,
Sort
it's
of,
family day over there, so we had to.
yeah. So lots of awesome variety in the enemies, power ups. Like I said, the levels are really cool. It feels nice and old, and I don't know if it's the aspect ratio that they choose to play.
Well, it's essentially it's essentially a what do you call it, a homage to Ghosts and Goblins.
Yes,
Is what
that
it is.
Yeah, or even and I bring this game up all the time. Sort of La Mulana.
Well, no, Ghost. It's literally a homage to Ghosts and Goblins.
Well,
I mean, it's
yeah,
not the
I
same
know.
game, but that's what they are saying is
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
that's like the game that they were like, wow,
Yeah,
it's inspired us.
Mm-hmm. And I can definitely see that because I didn't even make that connection. When you die, you just turn into bones.
Mhm.
Like that's what happens. That's awesome. So if you haven't played Ghosts and Goblins, you might want to check out Eternum.
So let me just reiterate the fact that this is free. This game, completely like a retro style game and everything like that. And oh crap, the cams are messed up because
Oh no,
Nelson left.
25 levels.
Yeah, go ahead and read that off real quick because I gotta fix
Yeah.
it.
So you've got 25 levels. You've got final bosses. It's 100% free, completely, arcade awesomeness. You can check it out either on Game Jolt if you search Eternum, or on radingames.com, RADIN games.com. There's no reason why you shouldn't try to play this. It's huge. For free, it's huge. Come on, like.
Well, we
come on.
always say like, oh, it's good for a free game.
No,
But
this would
what-
be good for $5.
Yeah, no, this is money's worth of game
Yeah.
right there.
I'm,
So
I'm surprised they're giving it away.
yeah, I think it's one of those. I mean, talking about the gaming community, especially indie game, just a passion.
Yep.
They had a game that inspired them. Ghosts and Goblins, one of the, I think people consider one of the hardest games of all time.
And this game is not easy.
And they were inspired by it. They loved the game so much that they wanted to create something to say, hey, it was an awesome game. Here's our take. So, you know what else is awesome?
The end of the show.
The end of the show. It's not really awesome because this show can go on and on and on
Good.
and on, and it probably feels like it when you're actually on the show live. Because it's actually pretty. Those of you listening to the edited version, we're a long show on the live version. It just gets cut down a lot, but all good things must come to an end at some point. And just to remind you, if you like what we do, you want to help us grow, you want to help us get to the big plans that we have them all listed on our Patreon, all the kind of goals that we want to accomplish at some point in the future. If you want to help us get there, please consider supporting us on patreon.com/IndieGameRiot. $1 or more, anything like that is all very, very helpful, or at least spread the word. All that sort of stuff is really cool, and thank you so much. If you are a game dev, you want to be featured, or if you know someone who is a game dev wants to be featured, get their game out there, exposed, all that sort of stuff. Much like Too Many Games and Lani here, and of course, we're going to be on in Too Many Games. It's kind of a cool symbiotic relationship there, but it's all friendly at the same time.
Yes.
Come contact us.
Symbiotic is friendly.
Shut up.
Contact us.
Contact us. You can find ways to contact us multiple different ways. First of all, if you are watching live, we're on IndieGameRiot.com, all the backlog videos. If you are watching an edited version, join us live sometime for all the tomfoolery in between. Hitbox.tv/JaShinYa. You can also find us on Twitter at on Twitter at IGR Podcast or Facebook.com/IGR Podcast.
It's that time of night, guys.
Or email us contact@IndieGameRiot.com, which is, of course, our website.
That you should definitely check out.
IndieGameRiot.com.
Because it's awesome.
Right. And big thanks, first of all, Nelson's not here anymore, but thank you, Nelson. Go check him out on Twitter at videogames_Bible. And thank you to Lani.
VidGames.
Oh, it's just VidGames. VidGames_Bible. And Lani, I don't know if you want to give your personal Twitter out, but you can also do at Too Many Games. And
that's my Twitter.
All right, that's your Twitter.
Oh, there we go.
And so thank you so much for coming on the show and talking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. And if you feel, I know this is your first podcast ever. You were telling us before the show. If you had fun, you want to come on again, just let us know. Just BS Indie Games. It doesn't have to be business. It can just be fun.
No, I might take you up on that. This was a lot of fun. I had a great time with you guys.
We may or may not have been one of the best podcasts that certain interviewers have ever been on. I can't remember who it was, though. It was early on.
May or may not have been a direct quote. It is.
Yeah. But that was a direct quote.
And having been a guest on yours, I can definitely vouch for them. Whoever this person is.
This is the best podcast I've ever been on, also the only one. But yeah, thank you again, and we look forward to meeting you at Too Many Games. It's going to be a fun time, and if you are anyone out there in the East Coast area, Northern East Coast, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, whatever, come to Too Many Games, see our panel, meet Lani, freaking battle us in Super Smash Brothers Brawl real life. Go Google at whatever the burlesque, the cosplay burlesque, the concerts. So many cool things.
You can actually be battled in our Super Smash Brothers tournament as well. We have several tournaments going on the whole weekend.
Like Smash. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just one of many.
Can we combine the cosplay burlesque and the Super Smash Brothers Brawl?
Probably not.
Oh.
In your mind, Josh.
Yeah.
Well, any last words, lady and gentlemen?
I just wanted to say, definitely hope to see some of your wonderful viewers there. It is the last weekend in June 26th through 28th. That's 3 days of fun parties, and come by and say hi to all of us.
Definitely. And make sure to stick around for other awesome interviews this month. We've got Nelson, who's going to have an actual real interview.
Yeah, I've actually I got a big list of people piling up. I'm not talking to the mic, but Nelson, Joseph from Under Earth, who is friends with Mark Gregory from Solarix, and Danny Danger made Concursion and Weaponographist, I think it's called, coming up the first Friday of June, and maybe Cuphead the next Friday. That's when I say yes to them, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
So
there's a lot of awesome stuff. You're not going to want to miss it. And if you did miss it live, you can always check it out on IndieGameRiot.com.
Oh, yeah. Say goodbye.
See you next time, guys.
We do audio versions. You might want to say something.
Oh.
She waved.
I waved.
Bye.
Bye.
Toodles.